Hello, Stragabella here. I thought I would make this video. I thought it was an interesting topic. My husband and I were channel surfing the other night and looking for something interesting to watch on TV. And I saw two pretty interesting shows. The first one was one of those ER episodes called Sex Sent Me to the ER. That was a very funny show, and apparently it's like a new sub-series of that show, True Stories of the ER. So if you guys haven't seen that, it's pretty good. It's I like the show anyway, but that one is just really funny. It's amazing how many times people don't want to say the truth of how they ended up in the ER when it's related to that. But the other show was, it was on the Learning Channel, and I'm not sure exactly what the title of the show was, but basically it was about fetishes and strange sex things. It was on right after that Sex Sent Me to the ER show, so it was, pretty fitting to be watching that after. But the first part of the show was about the man who has the biggest penis in the world. Apparently he has a 13 or more inch penis, and the notoriety of the whole thing has prevented him from being able to settle down in a permanent relationship. I guess he hasn't been in one since like 1995, because everybody knows who he is, and that's his association. Some people think it would be really cool to have that be your problem, but I don't know. My girlfriend sent me a funny photograph just the other day. She said her son woke up with the problem, and she told him to stop drinking the water in Everett, and it was a photo of a man with two penises. It was pretty funny. I guess it's a real photo. The guy was born with some kind of a birth defect, and he literally has two penises. I don't know if they function or not. I'll have to look it up on the internet, because now I'm like dying of curiosity. I couldn't believe it was even a real photograph, but it was. So I was watching this show on fetishes. Not too long ago, I actually met a person in real life who had a fetish, and it piqued my curiosity, like how people actually end up developing a fetish. Some people claim that it's nothing that actually happened to them in their life, nothing influenced it, nothing caused it, type of thing. Other people and psychologists believe that it's some kind of association that started deep in childhood. But I learned about a fetish that I had never heard of. We all know that there's people who are attracted to obesity. There's plenty of websites and porn things devoted to enormous, really heavy people. But I thought that was kind of where it ended, that they just liked larger bodies or larger-bodied women, and that was like the end of it. But apparently there's something called feederism or feedism. I forget exactly how it's pronounced, but I think it's known as FA. And it's a fetish in which not only does the person love and be totally turned on by, the fat of somebody, how fat they are, and they actually love the fatness, but it actually is a whole thing to do with wanting. The feed-E is the person who gets off on the eating behavior. So they get turned on by eating and knowing that they're going to get bigger and bigger. And the fact that they could be immobile is actually a turn on. They want to get to the point where they're totally dependent on another person. And the other person in this relationship, I believe, was the feeder. One's the feedee and one's the feeder. And so the feeder or encourager is the one who they are turned on watching the person eat and get bigger. Some of them actually want to be the ones feeding the person, so they're literally like feeding it into their mouth. Other people are more, they don't care if they're actually feeding, but they like to watch the person eat. And they are turned on by the idea that they're getting bigger and bigger the more that they eat. So I thought that was a really interesting fetish. And I don't know, I think it's really amazing and weird, the different fetishes that people have, and there's all kinds of them out there. Some are really disgusting and gross, like, we've all heard or seen, I've seen the reactions of people who are watching that two girls, 1 cup video. I never have watched the video. I don't think I could take it. But I've seen people's reaction, and that is a very weird one. I heard on the radio today, I was listening to my favorite radio station, and the topic today was on those AMR, I think it's called, those videos that are relaxation videos, and they help people fall asleep, where people are whispering or they're doing certain sounds. Today they did a couple where they were crinkling paper, bubble wrap, but a lot of times there's requests for certain situations, like being in a dental chair or just anything, absolutely anything. Eating is a popular sound, and apparently it has nothing to do with like sexual stimulation or anything like that, but it's more, it helps people go to sleep who want to avoid stuff like medication or other means of trying to go to sleep. And, at first some people think it's really weird, but when they try it, it apparently works for people who've had all kinds of difficulty with that. Another thing I have recently been made aware of is the choking game. I guess this has been around for like 100 years. There was an 85-year-old woman who said she did it when she was a kid, but there was a boy in Orlando back in, I think, 2007 who died at age 12, and there's been lots of deaths from it. It's different than that eroticism type of choking yourself, but it's basically on the same idea. And kids do it, either on a dare or because other kids are doing it, but it's called the choking game. And it's where they literally asphyxiate themselves. They cut off their oxygen for a short period of time, and I guess when they release it, it causes like a kind of like a momentary high, like a euphoric feeling. And but the problem is that if they pass out, they're unable to let go of whatever's constricting the air, and then they die. It's a deadly, deadly thing, and most of the time when kids die about it, it was a behavior that parents were unaware even existed, much less that their own children were participating in it. So I just thought I would put this out there for those of you who have kids. It was an awful thing that I saw on a show I was watching, Dr. G, Medical Examiner, and that was the episode, and it was just so tragic and so sad to see a young kid not meaning to kill themselves, because originally when they found him dead they thought he had killed himself on purpose, and during the examination the facts didn't add up. So they found out and they questioned his friends, and yes, his friends had been doing it, he did it, and this was actually the second time in that day he did it. The first time he didn't die, and the second time he did. So that's definitely something I'm going to talk to my children about. and things like that are sad. I've also heard of and I've seen the cinnamon videos where people take a huge mouthful of cinnamon, and I've heard that people have choked doing that as well. So it's a somber reality. That's about it. I just thought I'd make a video trying to get back in the habit of making regular videos again. And let's see, I think today's April 30th, so tomorrow's May 1st for those of you who celebrate it. And to me, it's kind of like the kickoff of summer. I already did put my winter coats and stuff in the basement, but yesterday and today were pretty cold days, so I've needed to double up on sweatshirts since I already put the coats down there, and I am not getting them out again. Once I've packed them away, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to get back to watching my favorite show, How I Met Your Mother. My daughter got me into this, and now I'm like hooked. So have a wonderful day, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Oh, and leave me comments if you guys have weird fetishes to share with me. I'd be interested to know. I think it's a very interesting topic. All right, bye.